You've done your homework, you've filled in your Eisenhower Time Management Matrix, you've classified your tasks in order of importance and urgency, you have your quadrants, and you know where to start. And then you do something else, or you don't do anything, or you start by those tasks that are in the least important and least urgent quadrant. So this matrix it teaches us to prioritize, and it seems clear enough. And yet, why is it that it's often not sufficient for us to just get things done? My name is Simona. I'm a coach and I'm passionate about time management. And yes, I've tried the Eisenhower Matrix at different times in my life, like I've tried many other systems, and it has helped me get my priorities right, knowing what to do. I knew what to do, but then not always got around to doing it. As I overcome my own obstacles, I saw some limitations of the Eisenhower Matrix, and that's what I'm talking about in this video. And in the end, I'm going to suggest two very concrete ways to partially get around those limits and continue using it. So here's a matrix. I'm not going to get into details. You probably already heard or read about it, or you can easily find that online. The criteria are important and urgent, and based on the quadrants, you do different things. Do, schedule, delegate or automate, avoid or drop entirely. The first limit of this matrix is impact. So it considers all tasks as having an equal impact, and while there will be action that take more time but yield bigger results, or even take small time but yield quite a lot of results. So this doesn't really come as clear when you look at the tasks that you put, especially when they are in the same quadrant. So right here, I've filled it with the tasks that allow me to film, create and publish a YouTube video. So there's a lot of things like write the script, film, edit, research keywords, add thumbnails, publish on social media. All this can be important, yet some have a bigger impact. I can publish this video without having written a script because I can improvise, or without adding the thumbnail. I cannot publish it without filming it. And I could publish it without editing, but the result would be pretty poor. And actually, filming and editing are the activities that take me most time. But it's not really clear in here, so this is filming and this is editing, that is the case. The second limit of this matrix is emotions and feelings. It does not consider in helping us establish our priorities, our pleasure, the things we like to do, the things that bring us a lot of satisfaction, the things we are afraid of. It just doesn't. And yet, those points are key when we're actually looking at accomplishing things, at getting things done, as I've explained in this video, which I'm going to link right here. Emotions are one of the elements that bring us to move and to actually get things done. So what happens when the thing we most enjoy doing is not important and not urgent? I like to create thumbnails and I like to prepare things for social media. So do I just drop it? What happens when the thing that we're afraid of is up here? Plan a breakout video, but that brings a lot of pressure, so that's a good excuse not to do it. So I'm kind of afraid of that. So I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna focus on this, which is exactly what the Eisenhower Matrix tells me not to do. In short, the matrix helps us on the right path of making sure that we carry out the activities that bring us closer to our goals, to what we want to achieve, and not just for work. But we need to be aware that not all activities have the equal impact, and that our emotions play a role in deciding what to do, when, and where. And when we're aware of this, we can just work around it. So, how do we work around these limitations if we like to use the Eisenhower matrix? Well, first one is to identify those activities that have the biggest impact and try to add a third dimension to the matrix so that they stand out. You can use, for example, if you're using an Excel graph, you can find the size of the bubble. Or you can use a different font, or you can use a different size post-it or a different color post-it. So here I've used pink in order to make film and edit stand out, which has also all caps and an exclamation point, and research keywords that it's pink but has no exclamation point and no all caps. Secondly, we need to come up with a way of introducing emotions such as pleasure, satisfaction, or other emotions in this matrix. It can be just a code. So on one hand, I suggest to my Design Your Time students to consider pleasure and satisfaction when they evaluate the importance of a task. So if that task brings you satisfaction, it might actually be more important than you initially thought it would be. Give yourself the opportunity to acknowledge that you do want to do that thing, despite the fact that it doesn't seem to be that important. And maybe that's just because your heart says so and your gut says so. And it's your time and you have the right to decide that. Or maybe you decide to override those emotions and stick to the matrix because that's what you need and what you want and what's important to you. And that's fine too. The important thing is that you don't just ignore these emotions, because that is not sustainable over time. What I've done here is that I've added a star and a heart to things that I like to do. And here I've just added a little smiley and just some rays of sun to the point where I know that I might feel the pressure and just try to procrastinate it. So that's just a way just to smile at myself and say, you know what, take it easy and just do one step at a time. To sum it up, you are encouraged to find your own hacks, your own tweaks of time management tools like the Eisenhower matrix. And make sure that they work for you and make sure that you pay attention to your heart. In life, but in time management too. If you use this matrix, please let me know in the comments below and share your experience. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share it, and I'll see you soon.